All right, let's get going.
That's how I recorded that,
That is now. Good morning. Welcome everyone to the special meeting of the Angelina County Commission Court. It is Tuesday, July the 3rd, 2018. Let the record reflect all members of the court are present. Kenneth, you want to lead us a little prayer this morning? If y'all please stand and remain standing for the pledge.
Father in heaven, we come with thanksgiving in our heart. Thank you for letting us see another day that we've never seen before. Thank you for allowing us to be able to get up this morning and make our way out here to do business for this county. And we pray that the business that we do will reflect you in all of our business. We ask you to bless each and every person up under the sound of my voice. These and other blessings I ask in Son Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, Kenneth. Please join me in the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join us to pledge the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. First action item this morning, if I can find my little cursor here. I know it's on there. Action item number 4 is discussion action on request from Road Bridge 4, Precinct 4 to authorize Mustang Cat, place an order for 2 140M all-wheel drive motor graders to be purchased through the buy board. Upon arrival and delivery of Precinct 4, the motor graders will be financed through the lease purchase program at First National Bank of Wichita Falls. This was on court the other day. Generally, so one of the reasons we've had this special meeting because Mr. Cheshire's gotten Stuart Cobb to forward the documents to him and to Mr. Kirby, and I know Mr. Kirby's had the opportunity to review those financial documents. Kerry, you have any? And I know they're not in your packet, but these are just we didn't get those. They went straight to Kerry, and again. We'll see these more when it comes time to do the final financing of it. So.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. I did receive and review the proposed lease documents from First Banking in Wichita Falls, First National Bank, Wichita Falls. Anyway, the documents appear to be in order. I don't see any problems with them. And, I forwarded a letter to each of you a couple days ago, discussing what I could about the documents. They appear to be the same documents that we've utilized in at least one transaction, if not more, in the past. I know that they're identical to the ones we used for Commissioner Harrison last year for a backhoe purchase. So I don't, from a legal standpoint, I didn't see any problems with them that need addressing. So from that standpoint, I'd recommend that the court move forward with the transaction unless there's concerns about the financing terms themselves.
And again, I think what we're doing today, we're just notifying the court that they're going to be financed through First National Bank. We're just authorizing Commissioner David to have Mustang Cat proceed with ordering your equipment and building. Is that right?
Yes. And we did also receive, Commissioner Cheshire secured a memo yesterday from Mustang that includes a buyback agreement for a 3-year buyback agreement for $228,000, which will be the final payment on the lease agreement.
Which we'll sell it for. We won't be purchasing it.
A bit. Anything else to that?
I'd be glad to answer any questions I can.
Sum it up.
No, this is just basically the same routine that we went through 2.5 years ago when we bought the first 2 motor graders. The only difference essentially is we're changing models of motor graders. We did have 12 M3s, which is a very sought after motor grader in the commercial market. Since that time, the 140M has been kind of replaced that 12 M3, so that's why we're changing models, which is a more valuable model in the commercial market. We we had a guaranteed buyback on the 12 M3s of $188,000. On the new 140 M3, we will have the guaranteed buyback of $228,000, which is a substantial amount of money, you know, when we're dealing with the pennies that we deal with. And, you know, my question was, do we authorize the judge to sign the purchase build order, or am I authorized to sign the build order?
Probably I'll come through my office, I guess.
Okay.
Do you have it?
I do not have it,
Okay.
at the moment, but I do have it, at the office.
Okay. Or they can forward a copy electronic, or however you want to do it.
Okay.
And one other thing I might point out, and it is in the letter, that the lease term, as the bank phrases it, is a 3-year lease, but in actuality, it's only 2 years, commencing with January 15th, 2019. So there's three payments, but the first payment's due in January 1st, and then you've got, there's only 2 calendar years actually involved in it, because it ends on January 15th, 2020, when you have both the third lease payment and the final payment due. So
That we would keep it for the remainder of that 12 months, and essentially 6 months ahead of schedule like we're doing now. We would come back to court to order 2 new motor graders.
so you would either have to turn it in or order
Yes.
it at that point.
Yeah.
Go
That'll
through
be
the
in 20 or
buyback.
21?
It's 20.
'Cause I'm showing a payment January 15th of 21.
Yeah, there should be a
19th,
payment.
19th, 20, and 21, yes, sir, that's
Right.
correct.
Yeah.
But it's only 2 calendar years from when it starts, so.
Well, I think you're paying the lease payment up front. We'll pay one in January
One in this
19,
January, yes, sir.
and that'll be for the year 19, one in 20 for the year 20, and then one in February 21 will be for the year 20, calendar year 21.
Well, actually, it ends in January of 21. That's what I'm saying. It actually, the
Well,
calendar wise.
that can't be right, because they can't charge us a year lease and not give us equipment for the year.
Right.
So I think the last payment is due January 21, but that's for
Yeah.
that fiscal calendar year.
I mean, in the
20.
papers they submitted to me, it's showing the buyback payment, the final $228,000 is due January 2021, which would indicate that,
When you look into that, then.
I will look
It's
into
on the
it.
buyback?
yes, sir,
They may
it's due
have-
the same date as the last annual
You're saying
payment.
3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, I think we're making the payments up front as far as the bank's
I
concerned.
mean,
The buyback needs to
but
be.
they're showing I guess that's the thing, they're showing the buyback is due on that,
Same time.
the same time as the third payment, so,
Yeah.
which would mean the lease is over, but,
Well, we can't very well pay a note in 2015 and not get the year's use out of the equipment. So, that's gotta be a glitch in the buyback agreement. What does the bank note say? When is that?
well, that's the lease agreement it's the exhibit to the lease agreement that they have that date listed. The buyback agreement for Mustang says 3 years, I mean, but that's not from the bank.
That wouldn't be any problem to address when the motor graders come in
Before we sign a contract
20.
with the bank?
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
My question, all we're doing today is just getting the paperwork
just
so they can go ahead and order them.
Authorize the Mustang Cat to build the
Yeah.
equipment and get it shipped here.
Yes, sir.
And then when it gets here, that's when we'll enter into the financial aspect of the lease agreement.
But again, from a legal standpoint, I didn't see any problems with the lease document that they forwarded to us, so.
Okay. All right, any other question, discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
I was gonna ask Bobby,
We need a motion.
Bobby.
We can do
Yes.
motion
It's gonna-
discussion.
you paying $32,990 a year,
Yes, sir.
that's for one,
Yes, for one.
so that's gonna be 66,000,
Yes.
64,000 for a year,
Yes, sir.
okay. Plus, the other deal's gonna be on a separate note. You're trying to buy it, right?
Yes. It'll be a separate note.
That's a purchase. That's just
That'd
a
be the
finance.
purchase.
Yeah.
Yep. The lease agreement will be exactly the same. except there is no buyback, and it will be to the dollar. At the end of the lease, we'll purchase it for $1.
Okay, that's what you, what do you have, leased now?
I have 2 dump trucks, I have a backhoe, and 2 motor graders leased right now.
Okay, what is that costing you a year?
62,000, 64,000, I can't remember the exact number.
I'm sure you've done your mathematics.
Yes, but I too many numbers to remember exactly, but
Well, don't
it's
have
60.
it. I wanna
it's
make sure
60.
you don't get yourself in a bind.
No, I'm not gonna get in a bind.
Okay,
We're gonna be good.
because once you go to the well and it goes dry, you know what that means. don't you?
Yeah,
Mean you die.
you're digging in sand, that's what you're doing. But I appreciate that.
And you just remember, we the last one to get into things.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, all right. I'm through.
I'd just like a motion.
Make a motion to approve with the judge's signature.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve authorizing Mustang Cat to proceed with ordering 2 140M all-wheel drive motor graders, and delivering them to Angelina County. Any other discussion or questions?
It
All in
is,
favor of that?
it was on the recommendation of the county attorney.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, he can't recommend us approving this, he just
I know,
recommended.
but-
He just recommended.
He said all the paperwork,
The
right.
paperwork is
Yeah,
legal.
okay,
yes.
all right.
Yeah, thank you. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. Let's move on to item number 5, discussion action on request from Road Bridge Precinct 4 for authorization to solicit bids for a reclaimer.
I do have a budget that I intend to stay within, you know, depending on what bids come in. But I understand we have to go out for bids because this is not through the bid, buy board. Just, reclaimer will put precinct 4 in a very advantageous position to rebuild and reclaim roads, for what I see for the next 20 years.
All for motion to let precinct 4 go out for bids.
You got a reclaimer in precinct 3?
Yes, sir.
How much y'all use?
It varies from year to year. I ain't even run it any this year yet.
How much you used it last year?
I do have a few jobs to do with it this year, probably 20 hours.
Greg,
Yes, sir?
you have a reclaimer?
Yes, sir.
How much you use?
Oh, a bunch this year. I mean, we're tearing up a bunch of roads this year. Probably.
Let's rephrase that. We're not supposed to be tearing up roads. We're supposed to be.
Grinding roads. Let me say that again.
Okay.
Resurfacing.
Yeah, yeah, but we're grinding a few miles this year, so it's not a bad deal.
No, I don't have one. I use 3 and 1 when I need one.
You can borrow this one whenever we get it to you. It's a better machine than theirs.
Okay.
All right. Do we have a motion? I didn't.
Second.
I second.
All right, we got all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item number 6, gentlemen's request by me, county judge, for authorization to solicit public bid for 2 radio communication towers. This is for the purchase and installation of these 2 towers. We budgeted this, for this year's budget. One will be placed at the sheriff's office and one will be placed at precinct 4, probably precinct 4's barn.
All for motion to approve.
Second.
All
Second.
right, we've got a motion second to authorize me to go out for bids on those 2 radio communication towers. Any questions or discussions? That's all I got. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Item number 7 is discussion action on discussion action on approving the Lufkin Economic Development Corporation to issue Angelina Forest Products and Overseas Hardwoods Company, Inc., an economic development grant from the Lufkin Economic Development Corporation's 4B funds. As y'all all know, the city of Lufkin established a 4B corporation several years ago using an eighth of a cent sales tax to go to fund that fund. And they are by statute authorized and allowed to provide funding for economic development projects out in the unincorporated area of the county, but they can only do so upon our approval. So the city's asking us to approve them offering an economic development incentive package to both Angelina Forest Products and also Overseas Hardwoods Company.
Motion approved.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Approve that economic development incentive grant. Any questions, discussion? All in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. I got another reason on here. I got to sign with you. All right, item number 8 is discussion action on approval of the Chapter 312 tax levy guidelines for Angelina County. These are, as y'all are aware, our tax abatement plan right now in policy is in line with the city of Lufkin. We've always followed theirs. We haven't had any industry come into the county since I've been in office. What we've had is it come into the city where we have followed and approved an abatement based on the city's recommendation and request based on what they've done. We do now have and have had the last year some industry and businesses coming into the county in the unincorporated areas. So what we have here, I've developed some guidelines that are still kind of in line with what the city does, so we're not too far out them in the college boat. The main changes in here, the city does have, when you're talking about Chapter 312, it's strictly a tax abatement. You have to have an enterprise zone, a reinvestment zone in order to grant a tax abatement. The city does have enterprise zones established on the north side of Lufkin, which extend out into their ETJ, which is outside the city limits and into the unincorporated areas of the county. And what I've put in our plan is if a business or industry is coming into the unincorporated area of the county, but it's wholly incorporated within the enterprise zone established by the city of Lufkin and their ETJ, well, the city's application and guidelines will be followed and not the county's, and we will follow suit with that. Otherwise, we will use our abatement guidelines for anything outside of those enterprise zones, which again, it does not prohibit us from establishing and creating an enterprise or reinvestment zone. That takes time, and we will do that upon recommendation or request of any new prospect or business coming in, if there's a benefit to them. As you know, we've passed the Chapter 381 economic development program a couple months ago. It's what we're using for some of our new projects. Gives us a little more flexibility, but we do want to make sure that we have this Chapter 312 guidelines in place. We have to be reviewed every 2 years, and that's why the date from July 1st till June 30th of 2020. That way, in 2020, the court will have to go back and review these and update any changes need to be made, or make any additions or corrections.
Judge, is this something that we need to do with your signature here, or?
This is just the Commissioner's Court approving.
Okay.
What we're doing is just approving these. These are our adopted guidelines for Chapter 312 tax abatements, just standard tax abatement you can see in there, what it's based on, whether it's a 10-year, 6-year, whether it's a $5 million, $10 million, $75 million, $100 million investment, how many jobs it is, that's what your incentives based on. So, and these guidelines again follow what the city's doing, and the college is following suit. So
I move to approve.
Second.
right, we've got a motion and a second to approve the tax abatement guidelines for Angelina County. Any questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Pose the same sign, and there's, if y'all want, there's an application that they fill out, submit to the county judge's office, and y'all can have a copy of the application. It's just standard. I'll get you a copy of the original here. Gentlemen, that being the last
Judge,
item before this court today. Yes, sir.
that number 7, discussion approval of Lufkin economic, you didn't need to sign that, did you?
Yes.
What,
Well, that's just a letter authorizing,
Okay.
from the court stating that we approve
Okay.
them, giving them a grant, so if y'all wanna amend
I mean, let me amend that one then,
in
if I
that motion,
can.
authorize me to sign the letter
No,
off approving
yeah.
them by the, that the
Yeah, I'll
court
make a
approves
motion.
them to do it.
To approve with the judge's signature.
Second.
All right, got amended motion on item number 7, authorizing me to sign the letters approving the city of Lufkin, extending an incentive to the overseas hardwood and Angelina Forest products. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Now, there being no further business before the court, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make
adjourned.
that motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you, gentlemen.